The game back after a little bit of a midwinter break ourselves. We are back and live and ready to go again with live coverage of Wolves against Leicester here at Molineux. We're in the Midlands today, and what a game it does promise to be here at Wolverhampton this evening. Terrific atmosphere as the team is building. As the teams are climbing up towards this game. The new Caton says hi JB. Hi new Caton, hope you're very well. Tough game here, it is, but an interesting game. Should be full of non-stop incident and plenty of goals. If you haven't been aware already, Manchester City have actually been banned from the next 2 seasons of UEFA club competition. That includes the Champions League and the Premier and the Europa League. Due to failure of financial player league. Now, this is where I'm going to have a little rant about this. I honestly think that UEFA have shown themselves up as a very, very corrupt organisation run by certain people who have certain agendas against English clubs. My beef is basically that Barcelona, the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG have been fiddling their finances for years and not playing by the rules, but yet they get away with murder. It's absolutely horrendous to see that sort of thing happening, and I don't understand UEFA's doing it there. I think they've got an agenda against English clubs in European competition. I found it's just wrong. I mean, they preach financial fair play, Sue, but have they really? You know, it's just... I just think UEFA need an example, and they don't want to use Real Madrid or Barcelona as examples of that. But yet, you got people like them and Paris Saint-Germain have been getting away with it for years. But yet Manchester City get the old... That means there won't be in any competition because of it won't be in any UEFA competition. That includes the new competition they're bringing out next year, and includes the Europa League and the Champions League. But apparently it's serious breaches of financial rules due to... City will lodge an appeal, and quite rightly so. I don't see what they've done wrong. I mean, it's not as bad as what Barcelona... Barcelona have been doing it for years, and they get away with blue murder. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit right. Anyway, this is the UEFA statement. The adjudicatory chamber has considered all the evidence has found Manchester City committed serious breaches of UEFA club licensing and fair play regulation by overstating its sponsorship revenue in its accounts and in the break-even information submitted to UEFA between 2012 and 2016. The additional chamber has also found that the breach of regulation the club failed to cooperate in the investigation of the case by the CFBC. They've also imposed disciplinary measures on Manchester City, directing it shall be excluded from participating in the UEFA competitions for the next 2 seasons, and that's the 2021 and 2022 seasons, and pay a fine of $30 million. The decision of the chamber is subject to appeal by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, if Manchester City so exercises that right. The full reason and decision of the chamber will not be published due to the publication of the final award by the Court of Arbitration, and I hope they see sense. Manchester City have responded. They're disappointed but not surprised by today's announcement. The club has always anticipated the ultimate need to seek out an independent body and process to impartially consider the comprehensive body of inferiable evidence in support of its position. In 2018, the UEFA chief investigator publicly reviewed the outcome and sanctioned he intended to deliver to Manchester City before even any investigation had begun. And I think there's more to come. It also says the subsequent flawed and constantly leaked UEFA process he oversaw has meant there's little doubt in the result that he had to deliver. The club has formally complained to the UEFA disciplinary body, a complaint which was validated by a CAS ruling. Simply put, this is a case initiated by UEFA, prosecuted by UEFA, and judged by UEFA. With this judicial process now over, the club will pursue an impartial judgment as quickly as possible and will therefore, in the first instance, commence proceedings with the Court of Arbitration for Sport at the earliest opportunity. Now, it seems to me It seems to me that there's some been fiddling going on at UEFA. I really do. Hiya Steve, hiya Russ, hiya New Caton, of course. Have a nice evening with your girlfriends, Russ. But this is wrong. I think if a team like Barcelona have been getting away with it for years, I think this is wrong. And I say this is wrong because Barcelona have been fiddling with their financial fair play for years. Real Madrid have done it, and Paris Saint-Germain have spent a whole lot of money. Then why are Manchester City being persecuted? Is it to do with English football? Are UEFA jealous of the success English teams are having in competition? It's absolutely ludicrous. And I think UEFA and FIFA as organisations are the most corrupt organisations in sport. I would go as far as to say in sport, let alone football. It's wrong. It's ridiculous. Manchester City will currently qualify to the Champions League if their appeal breaks. It feels in their favour, and I clearly hope that CAS, who are overseeing this, actually take a very positive and very impartial point of view, because if they rule in UEFA, they'll set football and the Champions League competition back a long, long time. Anyway, that's the situation. You've heard my strong opinions on it. This is let's concentrate on tonight's match. Of course, we've got about 7 or 8 minutes from kick-off. Let me give you the two teams. Patricio, these are the two 11s. We'll give you the full recap of the kick-off. So Patricio in goal, back three of Size, Cody and Bolly. Then it's a midfield four of Johnny Otto, Dandonka, Neves and Doherty. And Neto, Jota and Jimenez up front. Schmeichel in goal for Leicester. Chilwell, Sanichu, Evans and Ricardo at the back. Madison, Chowdhury and Tillemans are three-man midfield, and it's Harvey Barnes and Jose Perez either side of Jamie Vardy up front this evening. And we'll just have to see how that goes. New Caton, I'm hoping that hopefully we'll bring you that. I'm not sure what my availability is. Of course, I've got other commitments as well. I'm not 100%. I'm a part-time YouTuber, and I'm sure we'll have a look at that in full. But this is the you've seen the two lineups, and of course NBC we've got the Olympics, of course, begin on July the 24th, just after the European Championships. It's going to be a terrific year of sport, and a great atmosphere building here. It depends on my availability and what I can do, but if I can do it, absolutely for certain. Leicester City 30 points. Wolves in 9th place will go a point behind the 5th place Sheffield United. If they win tonight, they could go as high as 6th place, so potentially going above teams like Everton and Manchester United. And Everton picked up very well in the last few weeks as well. They've been absolutely amazing, absolutely sensational under Ancelotti, and they might put it a quite big for Europe as well. So if Manchester City are part for next year's Champions League, the team sitting in 5th would probably qualify as Manchester City's replacement, and that could conceivably be Sheffield United. Can you imagine that, from League One to Champions League in 3 years? I think Chris Wilder should be given the freedom of the city if that's the case. But I'm sure he won't want it that other way anyway, as the teams congregate in the tunnel. Midlands derby, West versus East. Leicester in 3rd place at the moment in the table. Wolves 9th place, but Leicester have dropped back in form, so Wolves will see this as an opportunity. Remember, we were last at Molineux over Christmas for that big game against Manchester City, where they beat Manchester City 3-2. We're just going to take a 5-minute break, 2-minute break, and then we'll be back with a recap of the two teams in the first half live of Wolves against Leicester. Stay with us. Welcome back to Molyneux, as the teams have just come out to the well-known pyrotechnics here that this place produces. Sorry about that, I just had to check everything was fine as regards equipment and stuff. We're in a cramped commentary box here at Molyneux this evening. Right, let's take a check on the two teams. So apologies there if you heard some banging. Just making sure that my equipment's in good nick, in good working order. And of course everything is going on at the moment, but don't worry about the feed. I'm getting Russ Burning now texting me, which is quite. We'll use the mobile for messages. Don't you worry. We've got plans in place for that. Let me do the editorial stuff, and let me get on with the. And we've got that. Anyway, let me give you the two lineups then. Just quick. Let's get on with the two lineups. So we've just paused there for a second. There we go. So these are the two lineups. Patricio in goal for Wolves. Dendonka, Cody, Bowie at the back. Size, Cody, Bowie at the back. Then it's Doherty, Neves, Dendonka, Otto, and then Neto, Jota, and Jimenez up front. On the bench, Prudence, Gibbs White, Ruddy the goalkeeper, Martinho, Traore, Kilman, and Burr. For Leicester City, it's Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Pereira, Evans, Soyuncu, Chilwell. It's Chowdhury, Perez, Tillemans, Maddison, Harvey Barnes, and Jamie Vardy on the bench. James Justin, Wes Morgan, Damari Gray, Marco Brighton, Danny Ward, Kenichi Iheanacho, and Des Pryatt. The referee comes from the Wirral, Mike Dean. The two assistants, Darren Cann on the far side, Mark Scholes on the near side. Fourth official tonight, Robert Jones. We've got VAR in operation. That's Michael Oliver of County Durham, and he's assisted by Lee Betts down at Stockley Park. Unfortunately, we haven't got the luxury of BBC or Amazon Prime, so it's back to normal service soon. But you'll still get your commentary as best as you can get. Anyway, we're all set to go then here in Wolverhampton, deep in the West Midlands, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. We're back after a winter break. Don't forget, keep your comments clean. We are a family show. No swearing, no giving out the scores in advance if you're watching it ahead of me on the commentary. Let me do the commentary. Anyway, we're all set to go then. Leicester in blue, Wolves in the old gold, Leicester City to kick off. As soon as Mike Dean blows the whistle, we're just still waiting to go. And Mike Dean gets us underway. Then Leicester in the blue shirts attacking the goal to our right. Wolves in the old gold to the left. East Midlands against West Midlands. So a private Midlands battle between two magnificent teams who have really shot up the football ranks in recent seasons that have been superb. Wolves' rise to playing Europe has been phenomenal, and Leicester City, of course, have been in the Premier League for six seasons now and have won it. Won it in their second season back in 2016. That remarkable run to the title under Claudio Ranieri, and they reached the quarter-finals, of course, of the Champions League. Lying third under the managership of Brendan Rodgers, an exciting young side he's fashioned down at the King Power. This is Chowdhury now in the Wolves half, just inside the centre circle. Chilwell now, who's just had a little bit of a loss of form. Been talked up for England honours. This is the sixth Premier League meeting. Wolves have had 2 wins, Leicester City a win for their credit, and 2 draws. Leicester's solitary winning coming at the King Power Stadium. This is Maddison now, over to the far side, and Chilwell takes possession. The ball's hoisted in from the left-hand side. The ball might break here for Harvey Barnes inside the area. Chowdhury, the big half-road ahead midfield player, wins the header. Now number 21, Pereira, wins possession down the right-hand side. Good tackle there coming in. And now Wolves to break. Remember these teams have had a winter break. Of course, there's a championship game going on at the moment. Apologies for that. I did say we were tight and compact in the commentary box tonight. There's a championship game taking place, as we tell you, and it's up in East Yorkshire. It's Hull, in fact. De Silva is equal. De Silva put Hull in front, and Routledge has just equalised for Swansea. That's Wayne Routledge, the former Crystal Palace man, who's equalised for Swansea. Hull 1, Swansea 1. Hull have just sold Jared Bowen to West Ham for £20 million. I'm sure that Burnley should have gone in for him, but there we go. But it's a cracking atmosphere, and this should be a cracking game. Tillemans gets the ball on halfway inside the centre circle, picks out Jose Perez, who's been a very acute sign, been a fantastic signing from Newcastle. A few eyebrows were raised when he was bought from Newcastle, where he didn't really set the world alight up at St James's Park, although he did show glimpses of what he could do under Benitez when he was manager at St James's. Newcastle, we featured the last time in our live matches. That thrilling FA Cup tie down at Oxford, where it went to extra time against all the odds, and then St Maximin winning the game for Newcastle. They're in action this weekend, away at Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. Tillman's chipping the ball in, header away once again. Remember, we're due to be at Norwich tomorrow for that crucial game for both Norwich and Liverpool. Norwich needing the points for other reasons, to try and get back into the scrap for survival, as Chowdhury concedes a free kick for handball midway inside the Wolves half, so a free kick to Wolves. And of course Liverpool looking to keep their unbeaten run going. They're just 6 off Arsenal's record of 49 league games unbeaten. Run that stretches back, of course, to last season, of course, and Jurgen Klopp's side have been an absolute joy to watch this season, as the ball is flicked on inside the penalty area, but it's well taken there by Kasper Schmeichel. 4 minutes gone here at Molineux, still Wolves 0, Leicester City 0, and then we've got a Wolves player down injured. Yeah, so there is rumours that Storm Dennis is on its way this weekend, so we did get the Manchester City game postponed because of the Storm car last weekend, so I'm just wondering, and Storm Dennis permitting, we're hoping to bring you live coverage, and that looked like a foul there by Johnny Evans there on Jimenez, who's gone down in a heat. Now VAR will check that, I'm sure, but the VAR ref Michael Oliver has deemed it no penalty. Well, as I said, we do have VAR in operation. Jota has claimed an elbow there, and the player started with a drop ball and Leicester have possession now with Soichu. Over to Chilwell on the far side. Coming up to 5 minutes gone here at Molineux. Wolves 0, Leicester City 0 in the Premier League. Live commentary here. Champions League's back later in the month, and of course we'll have commentary of the League Cup final on the 1st of March between Aston Villa and Manchester City from Wembley, live from Wembley Stadium. What a final that promises to be. Stone Clara was horrendous, and we've got Storm Dennis due this weekend, so any games past tomorrow, it's all depending on Storm Dennis, so we'll keep you up to date, and if there's any announcements or any cancellations of any of our games, I will let you know via Facebook what the situation is, and then you'll know for sure. But this game's definitely on unless they have a free kick, which Spanison has taken short to Pereira. Perez on the right hand side gets the crossing towards the far side, where Harvey Barnes has peeled off. Back to Chowdhury now, still deep inside the Wolves territory. Chilwell takes possession, finds Chowdhury again, this time on the left. 6 minutes gone. If you joined us late, it's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. Chilwell has possession. Ball hooked in there towards Jamie Vardy, who's not scored in 5 games. And here's Pereira now for Leicester. Leicester moving the ball around very well, but they've lost possession. And Wolves, as we've seen before, they don't have Adama Traore in from the start tonight. But what they do have, so they've lost a little bit of their pace, but hopefully that will be compensated here. I still believe that there's going to be lots of goals in this game. We've not really seen too much in the way of goalless draws this season. We've not brought you too many goalless games. I think there was the one at Villa Park this season when we had all sorts of technical issues, but apart from that, really, there's not been much else that we brought you that's ended 0-0. There's always been at least one goal in every other game that we've brought you this year. It's a great act to have. Long ball over the top. That should be the goalkeeper, Schmeichel's, and is. I think the atmosphere is a terrific atmosphere. I mean, there's much said about that as Pereira takes possession of the side now for Leicester. Still 0-0 if you joined us late. 7.5 minutes gone in the first half. Valencia and Atletico Madrid, 5 minutes played, that's 0-0, but we will keep you up to date with that whole match as well. Swansea trying to get back in the hunt for Premier League football. Wolves are claiming a throw-in, and in fact the decision's gone Leicester's way. And we've got 1 or 2 technical issues, but they've been resolved. Well, that should be a throw-in to Wolves. It's come off Harvey Barnes. Well, Mike Dean, no stranger to controversy. No stranger to controversy in footballing circles. He has made a lot of questionable decisions over the years. And there's been a goal by Piszczek for Borussia Dortmund. He crashed out the German Cup a week or so ago. It's Pereira takes possession now for Leicester. Plays it out to Jose Perez. Perez has to turn. Ball a bit behind there. Pereira, good turn there by Chadwick. So off his man well. And now good football again. Tielemans trying the shot, and it's a good shot as well with the left foot. And Patricio down away to his left-hand side, had to turn it away. And then Vardy goes down under pressure. But Perez has won it inside the penalty area. Tries to cross it low into the 6-yard box. It's knocked away by Wolves. Wolves just having a dodgy 5 minutes or so here. And now the ball out towards the far side. Almost saw a goal there. Good effort there from Yuri Tielemans with his left foot. And a terrific save down the way to his left-hand side from Rui Patricio. Maybe a little bit more dramatic than he made it out to be, but still needed saving. And with 9 minutes gone, Leicester have come closest to an opening goal here. On paper, they look a stronger side than Wolves in the 2 11s that have been put out. Perez now from Leicester. On towards Pereira. Pereira turning away from his man, which is Neto. But Neto got back at him, and of course Dendoncker there too. Oh, sorry, I should say. Dendoncker wears 32. Now then, Johnny Otto trying to get Wolves on their way. Ball has been kept in play on the far side. And Wolves have got down that far side, and Jota's waiting in the middle. It's a good run by Neto, and here's a chance now, and a chance will... Oh, what a save! What a save! It was Jota's shot. Jimenez was there too. Jota had made terrific strides. And this was the opportunity. Yes, there is the left foot. Good save. Terrific save by Kasper Schmeichel. See you later, Ducated. And it's a corner then with 10 minutes gone. Here's Neves into the penalty area. Header one, and it was Willie Bolly with a header just by the penalty spot. Nodding it down, but it was into Schmeichel's path anyway. Easy one there for Kasper Schmeichel. At the other end, no, it's Tielemans. It's all action here. Tielemans in the area. Tries to stay on his feet. Goal kick. It's rather audaciously signalled there by Mike Dean of the Wirral. Tillermans wants a penalty. Let's see if it was a penalty. No, fair tackle there by Connor Cody. Brendan Rodgers thinks it's a penalty. This is the earlier shot. Gets a deflection of Willie Bowie, actually. Didn't see the deflection from the naked eye. So that save from Patricio, which looks regulation, actually was a fantastic save. Because he's had to adjust. His leg was going towards his right, and then he had to adjust to his left. And that's actually a better save than I thought it was going to be. Nearly 12 minutes gone here at Molineux. 8 o'clock kick-off here, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. It's Wolves 0, Leicester 0. 12 gone. Well, we're down in the north. I'll be in the commentary box at Norwich tomorrow. Looking forward to commentating at Carrow Road, one of the traditional grounds of English football, tomorrow evening. Looking forward to that one, weather permitting, of course. So Burnley are in action tomorrow. We're down at Southampton, and that could be put into doubt if Stone Dennis gets its way. Of course, as we saw in that England-Scotland Calcutta Cup rugby game last week, it was absolutely horrendous conditions. The conditions look perfect for this game tonight anyway. Well cut out there by Johnny Otto. Did absolutely superbly well on the near side, and Neves plays the ball in field. They've got a strong bench, mind you, Wolves. They've got the likes of Prudence, Gibbs, White, Ruddy, Martinho, Traore, and all that. A couple of young lads on the bench as well. 13 minutes gone. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0, live here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Don't forget, keep your comments clean, keep your comments respectful. Don't shout out any scores if you're ahead of me on the commentary. And here's Solichu now over the halfway line now for Leicester. Goes back inside to Chilwell. Chilwell just checks and then plays it to Johnny Evans, a man with years of massive experience and success behind him in his days at Manchester United. But rolls the ball out of play, deep inside Wolves territory. For the Wolves, Nuno Espirito Santo is their manager. There's Gian Martinho there, sat on the substitutes bench. Maybe one or two technical issues at the moment, which is not helping. We will get back to you live as soon as we possibly can. It is frustrating when you're trying to do something here and it's... But we'll keep going for you. And we're back live. Back live with the action now. 15 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. JB Claret YouTube channel. If you are enjoying what we've got for you, don't forget to hit that like button. Stay subscribed to the channel if you want to subscribe, and of course, goes without saying, please hit the notifications as well. We'll have to, you can get exclusive first dibs on any video or any premiere that comes out. Don't forget, keep your questions coming in for our Q&A as well. But do that for the Q&A video that I did yesterday and not on this stream, please. Free kick that's been taken quickly there by Neves. But the referee wasn't happy. Back to the referee wasn't happy that the free kick was taken rather too quickly. And I think Mike Dean has got a reputation of being quite a fussy referee, which is always not a good sign. I love a referee that gives the game a chance to flow, or gives the game a chance to breathe. I don't think Mike Dean's the sort of referee that does that, I'm afraid. Here's the free kick then. Cody to hit it long and high from the left hand side, inside towards the Wolves penalty area from inside his own half. Ball hooked back in there towards the Leicester City penalty area, and the ball might break here for Jota now, left hand side in the penalty area, comes off the defender Pereira. It is a Wolverhampton Wanderers corner with almost 17 minutes of the first half played. Now, this is where Wolves have got to make these opportunities count. There'll be plenty forward in the old gold. Remember last time we were here, we were here for an absolute classic between themselves and Manchester City when they came back from 2-0 down, you may recall, to win 3-2 against 10-men Manchester City. It was a marvellous game. Thoroughly enjoyed. One of the best commentaries I think I've ever done. Here's the ball into the penalty area, and Wolves looking to get on the score sheet once again. There was the header from Dendoncker, going wide of the right hand post, behind Schmeichel's goal and behind for a Leicester City goal kick to be taken by the aforementioned Kasper Schmeichel. Still remains goalless here with 17 3/4 minutes of the first half played. This is Pereira now for Leicester. Backs the ball back once again. Pereira finds Johnny Evans, and Evans clears away to Soichu, and Soichu now has got plenty of room now to move forward. 18 gone, still Wolves 0, Leicester 0 in the Premier League, live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Don't forget to keep your comments flowing. Of course, it's just taking a little bit of a back seat a little bit here as the ball is crossed in, attempted to be crossed in by Harvey Barnes. The ball deflects and it's out for a throw in. Wolves at the moment just on the back foot, but they are making one or two half chances at the moment. Leicester have come close a couple of times through Euro Telemans. We've not really seen too much as an attacking force so far from Jamie Vardy. A bit worrying for him, a man who hasn't scored in 5 Premier League games. Johnny Evans now for Leicester finds Soichu. He's got the whole of the well, you play to walk into, and Sue Edges didn't forget that last minute commentary. In fact, so much so that she's played it 1,000,000 times. You keep wearing my tapes out in a minute. No, it was a great game, one of the best commentaries I've done. We'll talk more about that in our Q&A video, because one of the questions about that comes from us, and certainly that game will be high up in there. It was probably the top 5 games I've commentated on in 4.5 years of live audio commentaries on the channel. Going to Wolves 0-0 if you've just joined us, as come towards 20 minutes gone. Haven't heard too much from our old friend and a friend of this channel, Trevor Sports, also a moderator. Just to remind you about the moderators, where you can have up to 5 or 3 or 4 on at any one time and any during the game, so be careful. If you make any nasty comments, you will be thrown off YouTube. So respect the comment section, please. Not everyone wants to see colourful language or any disrespectful comments. Harvey Barnes cutting the long attempted ball out. Still deep inside Wolves territory as we come past the 20.5 minute mark now. Hurtling already towards the halfway mark. Still 0-0 between Leicester City and Wolves here at Molineux. Private game that started off as a private Midlands battle between West Midlands and East Midlands. Real Midlands fair to it. I feel like Hugh Johns back in the 1970s when he used to cover Midlands football many years ago. Well, the old television company in the Midlands, ATV. Who remembers ATV? I'm sure people older than 14 years old will remember that company. It became Central Television, of course. ITV in the Midlands. Hugh Johns, remember him? 1-0 and all that. The sort of game that he'd dearly love to have commentated on. Good old Hugh Johns, no longer with us, of course. That's the ball. He's back again. Bennett gets the ball forward. Long ball forward. I'll come to Sue's comment about Chris Whiteman in a minute. as Jota gets possession midway inside the Leicester City half, but Chowdhury comes across and does magnificently well. Neves then knocks the ball forward, but that's going to be Kasper Schmeichels with 22 minutes gone. We're halfway through the first half on the JB Correct YouTube channel. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. Let's go to Sue's comments. I wonder where Chris is. Haven't seen him around for a while. Chris is busy, of course, work and other commitments, of course. He's always sometimes on at the time. He was on the other night for the other week for the Oxford game. So he has been around a little bit in the last 2 or 3 commentary games. But he has a busy life himself as well. As we see a free kick given against Diego Jota there for a foul on Pereira down the near side. As Leicester bombed down the right hand channel. And I think that was a good decision there by Mr. Dean. It comes from not far from your neck of the woods. Comes from the Wirral, Tranmere Rovers supporter. Saw him at the playoffs last season when Tranmere won promotion back to League One. 2 shots on goal for Wolves, 1 to Leicester. 23 gone. We're halfway past the first mark. Here comes the free kick into the penalty area towards Soitu, who was free at the far post, and he got the header in, and it was straight at Rui Patricio. Sue, a little nod back to the olden days from Sue. We used to get a TV before Sky came along. We could never get Granada. Won in Liverpool. Oh, good old Granada. Yeah, I miss those days. Regional TV, Granada, ATV, London Weekend, and Thames Television, and all that sort of game. It's always good when you. Yeah, I'm from Granada land as well. ATV Central. Angular for the east side of the country, Yorkshire Television, all those great TV companies that you don't hear anymore. Very good and local as well, and they were warm, not like ITV these days where it's just all corporate and a load of rubbish. But this channel is not a load of rubbish, because we're enjoying a good pair here, but no goals I'm afraid so far. But there's still early days yet in the old Premier League. I think we said the old First Division. 2 teams with tremendous footballing traditions. Wolves, of course, terrific amount of success they've had over the years domestically. Reached a UEFA Cup final in 1972, beaten by Spurs. But there come Wolves looking for a free kick, and they get it. And now we've got a situation here. I think I remember now. Isn't he Magclair at 94? That's the one. As we just see Tillerman's barge Jota off the ball there. Better stop reminiscing about Granada and get on with this game. 25 gone here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. Don't forget, we'll have JB man in the match in the second half of tonight's match. And we'll tell you all about that in the second half. Meanwhile, here with 25 gone, the Wolves have a free kick about 30 yards from goal, more or less central to the goal. Beautiful, just seeing a beautiful shot of inside Schmeichel's goal, and the floodlights there of Molineux. It's a free kick now, going to be taken possibly by Ruben Neves. Neves runs up, strikes it right-footed against the Leicester City wall, ricochets away towards the far side where Chilwell loses possession and tries to keep the ball in play. And we've hit technical faults again. And there's Chris. And just as we're talking about Chris Whiteman, right on cue, he's with us, and we've lost we've lost everything again. We've lost Well, we've got the game back again now. And we're having one or two technical issues, I'm afraid, with the stream. It's always bound to happen sometimes, and unfortunately we're having one or two issues. And BT, and I think it's still, I don't think anything came of it anyway, so it's still 0-0. I don't think it's the right decision. I disagree with the City thing, Chris. I'm beginning to disagree with you on a few points here. I think when you've got teams like Barcelona who've been getting away with it for years, and you've got a team like Manchester City, okay, they're not squeaky clean. I think that can, I think we can truly establish that. But it's wrong in so many levels, and football shouldn't have to be like that. They didn't break any rules on the field, so why are they being punished for off the field? It just makes no sense, no sense or stability to me. It really doesn't. Anyway, we're back live. 27 minutes gone, and it's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. Leicester have a free kick. The ball into the walls of the penalty area. Soitu might get on the end of this. We'll come back to Sue's comments later on. There's the ball flicked in, and it's taken brilliantly there by Rui Patricio on the edge of his 6-yard line. Yorkshire TV, gosh, yes. Remember calendar. Where I used to live, or where I live now, we do get Yorkshire telly, but I didn't like calendar. Something about Yorkshire news that I didn't like, being a Lancastrian. No disrespect to any Yorkshire folk. Sorry, Russ. Calendar, yes. Yorkshire TV, ATV. Well, it's Central. It used to be Central, actually, after that. ATV, Lou Grade. Like Lord Grade, wasn't it, in those days? Yeah, the reason I say ATV is because this is the Midlands, and Hugh Johns was the commentator, regional commentator in those days, and boy, wouldn't he love to be in the gantry now, commentating on this magnificent game as well. Here's the ball into the penalty area, header, one inside the penalty area. It was Jota, I think. It might have been, Jota, I think, got the header in. Yes, calendar on Yorkshire TV, still on. Yeah, silly thing on Yorkshire TV that's still on. Yorkshire TV, well, there is Emmerdale Farm, of course. But who wants to watch Emmerdale on a Friday night? When you're seeing a Valentine's football feast here. Of course, it's Valentine's Day today. And any subscriber who's got a loved one, I hope you've treated them well. Bought them flowers and chocolates and a box of milk tray. But also has made arrangements to come and listen to our commentary on what could be a really good night of Valentine's football here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Remember, this game live here. We're due to be at Norwich tomorrow for the visit of Liverpool. Storm Dennis permitting, of course. There were several sports fixtures called off last Sunday when Storm Cara took hold. And we've had half an hour here. Let's hope Storm Dennis doesn't pull up any trees, and hopefully we can keep all the fixtures on. Burnley are due down at Southampton tomorrow for their lunchtime kick-off. That could be an interesting game. Both sides just starting to pick up a bit of form. Burnley 7 points in their last 3 games. Southampton have had a good run of themselves, even though they were very unfortunate to go out the cup a week or so ago against Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, this is the second match of games. The teams that played last week, they're in a mid-season break. Sheffield United, of course, with a very good win on Sunday, of course, against St. Hours Bournemouth. And they've shown real spunk this season, and of course, with fifth place up for grabs, it's I mean, Sheffield United to be in the Champions League would be an amazing achievement, but to come at the expense of a decision like that, I think just stinks a little bit. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Chris says, well, to me, with Manchester City, they have broken Financial fair play repeatedly for years. They've been punishing the past and should have learned from it, but they carried on spending without any regard to the rules. So back to the regional television again. You're missing nothing, by the way. 31 minutes gone, it's 0-0. There was this one particular newsreader on Central Television that used to talk with plums in his mouth. Never used to like him. Can't remember his name. I never watched Central, so I never watched Central News, so I don't know that. Russ Vernon says on the Valentine situation, he says, took my girlfriend out for food at lunchtime. We are babysitting her niece and nephew this evening. As we just see this, we'll just break off for that second because Wolves are on the attack here. On the far side, cross comes in, 2 over hit wide of the post. Wasn't going to find Raul Jimenez in a month for Sundays. That cross from Neto and behind for a goal kick. So yeah. Took my girlfriend out for food at this lunchtime. We were babysitting her niece and nephew this evening at her brother's, so we can go out with his girlfriend. I think that's very good of you, Ross. I hope you're having a fantastic time with your girlfriend. I'm happily single, by the way. Any potential women listening to this stream, I am available. You're missing nothing at the moment. Just to remind you, 30% Wolves, 70% Leicester, and we'll just break off for a second because Chilwell's crossing in towards Jamie Vardy, and it's knocked away again. Willie Bolly should clear away for Wolves, and does, but not very far. The big half-related Childry wins possession in midfield, and here's Tillemans, who's got closest to Leicester City, and here's Tillemans again, and now Chilwell has it on the far side. So has to play 1-2 with Harvey Barnes. This is on the left hand side, the far side as we look. And again the ball nicked away. Tillemans wins possession. Ball out to the far side and it's Ben Chilwell again. Running all comers. There's the cross. Turned away by Cody. And Wolves can get it away. Just a little bit of pressure being applied to the Wolves defence now by Leicester. Still 0-0, remarkably. Vardy inside the penalty area. Still Vardy, checks his run. There's the cross looking towards Maddison. And it's a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. It came off Maddison's last. The attempted clearance by Willie Bolly. Right, back to the comments. Sue. I appear with the guy that used to play Eric Pollard on Arundel Farm. I know exactly who you mean. Not on the soap itself, but in the Kendall Torchlight possession. I bet you were starstruck there, Sue. Chris, going back to the fair play thing. Should Manchester City win the 2 domestic cups, which they're still in, of course. They've got the League Cup final, of course, on the 1st of March, which we'll have live for you here on this channel. 7th and 8th would become UEFA Europa League spots, which is madness, really. Well, I mean, unless Aston Villa win, I mean, it would be great for football if Villa won the Cup, actually, the League Cup. Manchester City feel very much involved in the FA Cup competition. They've got a tough trip, though, to Sheffield Wednesday on, I think it's on Tuesday, so 2 days after that Wembley final, they must go to Sheffield Wednesday, and that's one of I think 2 or 3 colour free days we'll have live for you on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Definitely the Sheffield Wednesday one will be covering live, and certainly the tie of the round between Chelsea and Liverpool will have live for you. So plenty of great football. Monday's match is between Pompey and Arsenal, and there's several other ties as well. And the Premier League is actually a supporter of the Heads Up Mental Health campaign, which is backed by Prince William, of course, and supported by the FA. Meanwhile, there's a yellow card here for James Maddison, and a high foot here on one of the Wolves players. It's who is it? It's Doherty, who's the man's been caught. Half time in the game between Hull and Swansea in the Championship. Hull City 1, Swansea 1. De Silva with the goal for Hull. Rutledge with the equaliser. De Silva after 6 minutes. Rutledge on 14th. We're still Doherty receiving treatment. This could be a little while here. We're 10 minutes away from half time, and I'll tell you what, if VAR were looking at this, I'm surprised it's not been upgraded to red, because this, well, I don't know, is that a yellow card? I don't know. That's, I mean, if VAR said that, I mean, they could easily upgrade that to red. It is dangerous play. Well, it's a difficult one. The referee decided to err on the side of caution, but it's not looking too good, I'm afraid, for Matt Doherty there, who's Receiving treatment, and there's blood coming from the head of Doherty, and the referee's got to stop it. Whilst that's going on, we'll bring you up to date with Doherty's situation. So we've got a chunk of stoppage time to come at the end of the first half. Chris also goes on to say, my other concern would be if City were to win the Champions League, and that's not a foregone conclusion, by the way, they would face the Europa League winners in the UEFA Super Cup. Now, I would have assumed, Chris, and I'm not sure how you feel, there's Adama Traore there warming up as a potential replacement. He's just come back from an injury himself. A 10-day break has been a godsend to somebody like him. He was a big player for Wolves, pace to burn. I'd assume it'd be the Champions League runner-up. We never lost the Champions League final. So, say if Manchester City were beaten by Liverpool, then you'd say Liverpool would take that position. That's what I would say. That's what my fear would be. But of course, there you go. Back to Eric Pollard. Meanwhile, Doherty is still down receiving treatment. I can't quite believe it, says Sue. It was quite surreal having Eric Pollard on the back of us on the float. Boy, we get some comments on here or what? It's Eric Pollard. Yeah. He was a big star in Emmerdale for many, many years. Anyway, back to the game, and Traore looks as if he might have to come on at some point. We've had a stoppage now of about 3 or 4 minutes. Now they're checking to make sure his eyes are nice and clear. I can just see the blood on the side of his left-hand side of his head, and hopefully they'll get some Vaseline on it and get it all stitched up there. They've just seen the Vaseline on top of his head. I'm in a word with Mike Dean, just making sure there's no blood on the shirt, because of course you cannot. You've got to change the shirt these days, which I think is a stupid rule. Just get the game on. I think some of the rules that the football hierarchy, certainly at FIFA, make up, I think is ludicrous. Certainly the Premier League need to look at their ruling on VAR. I mean, some people might argue actually that Madison could have seen red. A lot of people would actually say that, in all fairness to him. Anyway, 38 minutes gone. It's still Wolves 0, Leicester 0, but Wolves have a free kick. And Doherty, I think he's back on the field, probably receiving treatment. Anyway, the free kick comes in far side. We had about 4 minutes stoppage. Leicester got that ball away. We're now into the 39th minute. We've had 39 minutes gone, but we've had about a 3.5 minute stoppage now. And Doherty's been waved back on. He's got the Vaseline on, and he's ready to go again. And he's already into the action straight away, winning possession. And then there was a bit of a shirt pull again, and this time by Neto. Free kick there, and Chowdhury and Neto almost having a little bit of a set to there in the middle of the park. Well, there may have been a half an appeal there for a handball against Ben Chilwell in the build-up to that. James Maddison is not going to be the most popular man in Wolverhampton right now. Ball back to Johnny Evans. Still cracking atmosphere around this famous old Molineux ground. And a risky ball by Schmeichel, and it might end up costing Leicester here. Chances on the area, chipped over, and he's put it wide. It was Neto. Kasper Schmeichel, I don't think he even went out of play. Leicester have kept it in on the far side. We'll come back to that in a minute. Here's Iosi Perez down the right, but it's a great tackle there. And with 5 minutes potentially in the first half to go, of course we'll have a huge chunk of stoppage time, about 3 or 4 minutes, for that head injury. And of course, don't forget to send your Q&A answers in for Monday as well, because of course all questions have to be by Monday. But do it on the Q&A video, please, if you would be so kind. Meanwhile, in this Valentine's Day Premier League Midlands confrontation, 4 minutes of the first half of normal time to go. We'll take a 5 to 10 minute break so we can get lubricated and get ready for the second half. This was the mistake by Schmeichel, trying to play out from the back, and Chowdhury was not on his wavelength. And Neto here, he just needed better contact, and the ball in the end didn't go out of play. It stayed in play. Schmeichel just trying to be too casual there, and Neto should have punished him, really. It's a poor ball, poor effort in the end. Here's Otto with a cross towards the far post. Header one, but wide. Jimenez with a header, and he was unmarked too. And he knows that's a great chance. So too does Nuno Espirito Santo on the near side, down below me on the near side on the bench. A nice cross from Otto, and Leicester were static defensively. They were nowhere near Jimenez at all. And if Jimenez had been a bit more and made a better contact with the head, Wolves might have gone in the lead towards the end of the first half. It still remains goalless with 3 minutes to go to half time. Remember, we have the JB man in the match, and of course keep your questions rolling in. Sue's given us a few questions, and of course the best ones I'll certainly answered, and there's quite a number of Sue's questions that I will answer on when we do the video as the ball is played out towards the far side. It's going to be a live video, in fact, so you're going to get your questions read out live here on this channel, so stay tuned. Anyway, probably be Tuesday before we do all that. Anyway, we're coming up towards the last couple of minutes of the first half here, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Wolves 0, Leicester 0. Wolves have a corner. Much changed Wolves size from the team that we've been used to seeing in recent weeks and months, as the header comes back in. It's in! Inside the 6-yard box! And that is a perfect on it for Wolves. The ball was floated in from the right hand side. The ball was headed back at the left hand post. And I think it was Willie Bolly who got the header in to give Wolves the lead. And if it stays this way, then Wolves will be heading into 6th place. Let's have a look. The ball's knocked back in there. Doherty's won the header. Yep, Bolly got the header in. The goal stands as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure VAR would have had a check. It came from a nicely worked short corner. Doherty with a header back in from the far post, the left-hand post. And Bolly with a good header. Did everything right. Nodded it down. Schmeichel was beaten. And the ball nestled lovely and sweetly into the right-hand corner, far right-hand corner of the Leicester City net. Rui Patricio made that super save at 0-0 from Telemans. That deflected shot from Telemans. Well, that save now could well be double. Can double in the end. In fact, there's an offside. They are checking the goal here. Maybe we spoke too prematurely. Now VAR are checking the goal. Is there an offside? Well, if it's this is where this VAR is a menace, quite frankly. If this gets disallowed, I think it's an injustice because he's not active. Let's make that purely clear. He's not interfering with play. If I think it is, it might be the man nearer to Chilwell. Well, I think this. If this goal gets chalked off, it's a disgrace. And this is taking about 30-40 seconds here. Now then, it's been disallowed. Wow! Leicester fans are going crazy. I don't think that's a good decision. Well, if you're going to give offsides for that, then I'm done with the game. If he's about even a millisecond offside, that is just ridiculous. Give the advantage to the attacking player. There's nothing wrong whatsoever with that goal. I'm sorry, it's not. If you're going to have heels that are going to be offside, then what's the point? We're going to see how many perfectly good goals like that have we seen chalked off for just a little heel being offside. And Wolves have got every right to feel angry, and unfortunately Mike Dean is going to be booking Ruben Neves, I think. This first half is ending in absolute farce here. So Neves has got himself a booking, and it's all mayhem here, quite frankly. Leicester have got a free kick. I think they're very lucky. I think that's a perfectly legitimate goal. I'm sorry, this offside ruling on VAR is a farce, a disgrace, and it needs looking at sooner rather than later. This should have been sorted out This should have been sorted out weeks ago. This is not good enough. 3 added minutes, and we're... Oh, well, there will be repercussions. I mean, Nuno Santo, I've persuaded to say he's having a right go at Rob Jones, the fourth official down below me. Mike Dean and Michael Oliver at the centre of controversy in the Wolves fans. Well, they're chanting a certain chant about VAR, but this is... I just find the whole thing a complete, utter farcical. If you're going to disallow goals for little petty things like that, then what's the point? What's the point in, I was an advocate of VAR at the start, that I will say, but we've got to the stage now where it's just getting ridiculously, repetitively boring. It's the same repetitive decisions that we've seen week in and week out, and I have to say, this is. I hope they iron all this out in the next season, because let me tell you something. That is just the most obscene piece of legislation you could ever wish to see. I just think it's ridiculously poor. I don't understand that. Yeah, his heel's offside. Okay. If the letter of the law, there's a difference, really. You've got the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, and I think the spirit of the law, my opinion, should have been gone to there. As we're now way past the 3 minutes at the end of the first half, and Wolves are in the right. I've got every right, in my opinion, to feel angry. They've got a free kick, but it's not on. Half time as whistle's gone, and there'll be repercussions from this. So you mark my words. Wolves will feel justifiably aggrieved. Connor Cody having a right go at Mike Dean, and quite rightly so. I think that's a perfectly good goal, disallowed. And I think the Premier League and the powers that be need to get this VAR sorted out, because this is just pathetic. We've seen plenty of good goals like that chalked off because half an eel's offside. That is wrong. That is so totally and utterly wrong. And as soon as the Premier League sort this out, the better, because it's not good for the game. The referee getting an escort from the stewards, and Wolves and Molineux and the Wolves supporters are furious. This looked to be a legitimate goal, and it looked as if, and then, well, it's ridiculous. And there was no goal hanging there at all, as Chris Whiteman quite bluntly points out. Let's read some of the comments, and this is just ridiculous. We're going to take a 5-minute break, but let's have a look at this. Left heel Diego Jota was offside. I think we established that one. But Sue says it's so unfair. I agree. Chris also goes on to say, offside rule needs adjusting. I agree. It's there to prevent goal hanging, which was not the case there. And it wasn't the case, Chris. I agree with you. Sue also says, and I think she's got a point here too, these refs are power-hungry jobsworths. They let a little bit of power go to the red. I can't agree with you guys more, because this is just not on. That's a perfectly good goal that's been wrongly, in my opinion, chalked off for what? A half an eel offside? It is so wrong on so many levels. Anyway, we're going to take a 10-minute break. The Wolves have had the ball in the back of the net, but it's not counted. Whether it was the right thing to do, the referees, of course, have got to apply the letter of the law, but sometimes the spirit of the law needs to be applied in situations like this. Chris says, before we leave you, we go on about the whole ball having to cross the line. Why not the player? Yep, agree. Razi Abano, forget VAR. Well, the sooner they iron the whole show out, the better. Anyway, it's 0-0. The point is, it's half time here. 0-0. How Wolves should be winning this, I do not know, but well, anyway, it's 0-0, and we'll take a 10-minute break with the scoreline. As I say, Wolves 0, Leicester 0. We'll be back with the second half shortly, and I'm sure there's going to be a fallout from this. Okay, we'll take 10 minutes. and we'll come back to you for the second half. 0-0 is the score here at Molineux in a controversial first half. Welcome back to Mo and You. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. But the game has been marred by some VAR controversy at the end of the first half when it looked a clear goal initially from Willie Bowie after a corner had been provided in, but an offside. But of course, Heel was offside. It was Jota Heel that was offside, and the goal didn't stand. Now, my view on it, I don't think it was clear and obvious, and this is where this should be looked at again. VAR needs to be looked at once again, and I just feel that something is just not right. And I agree with Chris. The whole player majority has to be off. Would be an improvement. I agree with that one. Russ, there's been some score flashes. Russ has just brought us up to date from Hull 2, Swansea 1. That was Madison, but Norton 5 minutes later brought the scores level with Swansea, and it's 2-2 at the moment between Hull and Swansea. Good game, that actually, to be fair. Don't forget, keep your comments clean, keep them nice and simple. And of course, goes without saying, all enjoy, but enjoy it responsibly. I'm just waiting for the teams to reconverge for the second half. Remember, it's still 0-0 at the break, and we're waiting for the second half. In fact, the teams are just about out for the second half, so we're about to get underway then. 0-0. How it is 0-0. One will never know, but Mike Dean, all the 22 players are back. There have been some harsh words said in that tunnel, I would have thought, and the left have been fly on the wall. As the game reconvenes once again, surely we have to get some sense of respectability here and get a good game here. VAR has reared its ugly head once again as Wolves in the old goal kick off the second half. They're attacking the goal to our right, and the second half, Leicester towards the left. They're in the blue shirts, white shorts and blue stockings. Wolves, as I say, in the old gold, dark shirts, dark socks as well. Dark stockings, I should say. Once again, Stockley Park rearing its ugly head once again. It's been quite a game thus far in terms of the way that the game has ebbed and flowed, but at the moment we're still no nearer to knowing who's going to win this game. Both teams unchanged. Let me just give you the two lineups in case you need to be familiarised. Wolves have Patricio, Dendonka, Cody, Bolly, Doherty, Neves, Saiss, Johnny Otto, Neto, Jota and Jimenez. Leicester City's 11, Schmeichel, Pereira, Evans, Soyuncu, Chilwell, Chowdhury, Perez, Telemans, Madison, Barnes and Vardy. And the benches, just to give you the Wolves one: Prudence, White, Gibbs-White, Ruddy, Martinho, Traore, Kilman and Burr. For Leicester, Justin, Morgan, Gray, Albrighton, Ward. As Harvey Barnes makes a break into the centre, Chilwell, makes a break inside the area, but he was well hounded out by Doherty, who's had more Vaseline placed on the cut head that he picked up in the first half. So that Leicester bench again: Justin, Morgan, Gray, Albrighton, Danny Ward, Kenichi Iheanacho and Dennis Praye. As I say, referee Mike Dean coming all the way from Merseyside, the Wirral. Big Tranmere fan. There's been another goal in the game at Hull. Hull have scored again. Wilkes with the goal. 3-2 to Hull against Swansea. Good game there up at the KC Stadium. Here at Molineux, we should have had a goal at half time to have brought you, but it's still 0-0. Amazing, really, when you think about it. when you're half an ear offside. I just find that, I find some of these refereeing decisions quite frankly baffling. And now the referee's not happy. Mike Dean again. Blood. That's why he's having to stop it because of the blood. Still not patched up. Why are they not putting a bandage on his head? I can't figure it out. The Vaseline clearly not doing its job. Wolves are temporarily down to 10 minutes. Patricia has to head the ball out of his penalty area. Of all the referees to get, Mike Dean just had to be one. Here's Tillemans into the penalty area. Oh, it might break for Perez. Oh, the shot was blocked inside the area, and it fell very kindly there from Rui Patricio. 3 minutes gone at the second half, and amazingly it still remains Wolves 0, Leicester 0. Wolves down to 10 men as they're trying to stem the flow of blood from Matt Doherty's head. That head injury he picked up in the first half after an awful challenge there by Harvey Barnes, who could have conceivably been sent off on another day by a different referee. It's amazing what referees will do. Doherty waiting for Mike Dean to come back onto the field here at the moment, as we've gone past the 4th minute mark of the second half. Chowdhury now for Leicester, still 0-0. Tillemans back to Chowdhury once again. Short ball towards the far side. I just hope the mobile phone lasts until the end of the game, because we might have to abandon the YouTube as well on the mobile and just do the commentary as per normal. Here's Chowdhury. Chowdhury out to the far side. I do apologise if you're tuning in on PlayStation and you can't see any comments coming up on the screen. It's a PlayStation issue. I haven't heard anything from Trevor Sports at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be knocking about somewhere, probably in the bowels of Television Centre, recording some stuff. As Leicester go in search of a goal themselves, and the shot from Pereira as he darted in from the right hand side goes flashing over the top of Patricio's crossbar, beats Johnny Otto here, goes past him as if he didn't exist. Stayed on his feet in fairness to him. Maybe the angle was too acute for him to get the shot off. It didn't go over the bar, it went wide of the target. Goal kick to Wolves. I have missed that in just that pace and power of Adama Traore tonight. Wolves, they still have him on the bench should they require him, as Patricio kicks towards the right hand side, the right hand touchline. The ball played forward. Now a chance for Jimenez to try and knock the ball off, but the ball is now fed back to Chilwell. Soyuchi now takes possession for Leicester, finds his centre back colleague Johnny Evans. Evans checks. Leicester have lost possession, and Jimenez now 25 yards from goal, trying to get in onto the right foot. Chowdhury brings him down right on the edge of the area. Yellow card to Chowdhury. He's got the afro hair, of course. Here he is again. There's the run. Well, Chowdhury may have got a bit of the ball here as Jimenez clubs down on him. That's a good tackle, I think. I think the referee's got that one wrong. I think he's very unlucky there, Chowdhury, because I think he gets a lot of the ball. I think Raul Jimenez is looking for that a little bit, and I think Chowdhury can count himself a little bit unlucky that he's been not only been booked, but a foul's been given against him. And I think Mike Dean's made two poor decisions there. But what it does do is give Wolves a chance from a set piece. Saiss is going to take it, perhaps. It looks as if Saiss will take the free kick. Will be it is favourite for the left foot. Sorry. It's 22 yards, right at the D. 7 minutes almost to the second half gone. It is Romain Saiss. 5 blue shirts in the wall. Saiss then, shortest run up. Comes up, strikes it right, left footed, deflected off the wall. Falls kindly to Doherty. Doherty with the cross in from the right, but that's too close to Schmeichel. Takes it on the edge of his 6 yard area, and maybe a little bit of justice done there for Leicester City's this time. I didn't think that was such a bad challenge there by Chowdhury, Hamza Chowdhury. I felt Mike Dean got that one wrong. As the ball breaks kindly now from Madison to Harvey Barnes on the near side. Son, of course, of former Burnley legend, former Burnley striker Paul Barnes. He was actually born in Burnley, Harvey Barnes. It's a fact that a lot of people don't know. He's a Burnley man. He's a Burnley lad, born and bred. Well, he was certainly born, whether he was bred or not. That's another matter. 53 minutes almost gone. Wolves 0, Leicester 0. Here on the JB Claret YouTube channel, Wolves get the throw in. James Maddison's complete frustration. It's certainly been a feisty derby. There is a bandage on Matt Doherty's head. It's a dark bandage. I thought but at least he's been patched up now. And hopefully that stop-start won't be too much now of a chore for him as the ball is hooked long. Chilwell winning the next header. The ball will break here for Jimenez. Jimenez down the line. Still 0-0 here, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. And here comes Maddison out to the far side. Jose Perez now checks back. Still 0-0. If you've joined us late, you can comment. Depends on how long we've got left on the mobile phone. We might have to break off the comment section a little bit now as the header is touched back and it's taken quite comfortably there by Rui Patricio. Ben Chilwell with the cross, but it was well met, of course, by Saiss. And back to the goalkeeper it went. Almost 10 minutes gone in the second half. Still Wolves 0, Leicester City 0 in the Premier League. 3-2 the whole in that championship game at the KC. They kicked up at 7:45 this evening. They lead Swansea by 3-2. Here it's 0-0. Wolves will obviously will believe that the goal they should have scored was chalked out wrongly, and it looked a wrong decision, that is for certain. Don't forget the Q&A as well as Wolves go forward. Comment your questions please on that video. And Harvey Barnes having a little bit of a set to there. Bookable offence against Dendonga this time. Barnes would just do well just to keep his mouth shut here. Frustration there, but it's a free kick to Leicester, quite rightly given. Dendonga goes into the book. The referee now starting to book a lot of players left, right and centre. We've had over 10 minutes of the second half played, and it's still Wolves 0, Leicester 0. It's not been a great game. Not been a great second half so far. It can only get better from here on in, surely. Chowdhury in possession, far side. Leicester City. At the moment, 167 passes Wolves, 318 Leicester, and 68% Wolves. Their passing accuracy against 86 for Leicester, which is not too bad a ratio. But it's not about the passing stats, it's about how many goals you score. And at the moment, neither team have got a goal on the board. Wolves have had the ball in the net, but the goal wrongly was chalked out for offside. And it still remains 0-0. This is Chowdhury now, who was unlucky to be booked early, just a little earlier. Now Chilwell now on the left-hand side. Soichu just getting a little bit stretched this game now. Last time we were here for an absolute classic. I don't think we're going to get something like that. We certainly had VAR controversy that night when Manchester City got a very debatable penalty, which was given by VAR. This is Chilwell now for Wolves. On to Harvey Barnes, but Barnes loses possession. It is a throw-in to Wolves. It remains 0-0. Don't forget, Storm Dennis permitting, we'll be bringing you full commentary of Liverpool's latest match as they attempt to keep their unbeaten record going. They're 6 shy of Arsenal's 49 unbeaten. 43 games undefeated. When they go to bottom of the league, Norwich are 50. Well, what with a whopping 55 points between top and bottom of the Premier League. That's some gap. And here's a shot coming in from all of 25 yards. It was Tillemans right-footed and straight down Rui Patricio's throat, and it still remains Wolves 0, Leicester 0 with 57 and a quarter minutes gone. So Norwich against Liverpool is our main match tomorrow from Carrow Road, and we will be on the air from around about 5:20. Again, I'll be doing the commentary as Liverpool work to try and wrap up the Premier League in the shortest time possible, as quickly as possible, I should say, as Leicester went on another attack there, but it broke down. And we still had no comments so far in the second half, as we see Adama Traore now warming up. I don't think it'll be too long before we see him enter the fray. As much as Neto has tried, he's not Adama Traore, and he hasn't had the frustration. Mike, good evening to you. Nice to see you. Nice to have you on. Nice to have you with us. VAR. What more can we say about that? I'd like to get your view, Mike, on the VAR decision. Was it a goal, or shouldn't it have been offside? Well, my opinion, I think the rules are an absolute ridiculous state of affairs, and I think if they need to get it sorted out sooner rather than later, because the whole VAR thing is turning into an absolute farce as far as I'm concerned. I think it's totally wrong. From the game of professional football, yeah, VAR is like a glitch in the football system. Quite right as well. Wolves, in my opinion, should be leading this football match. That was a perfectly legitimate goal, wrongly chalked out by Messrs Dean and Oliver at Stockley Park. As Leicester go in possession with Jamie Vardy, but he loses possession. Cody now wins possession. Doherty loses possession. And here goes Maddison inside the area. It goes down. The referee thinks about it. No penalty. He's in the opinion that he was looking for that and he ran into size. The referee reckons he ran into size. So let's have a look again on the replay. Well, I think VAR may well have to check this. I think that's a penalty. Sice has completely taken him out. I think that's a Leicester City penalty. I think that's a penalty. Mike Dean is not going to refer it to VAR, but that's a clear and obvious penalty, and I think Leicester City have been denied there. These officials who use this ridiculous... this is absolutely boggling the mind. A free kick going there, and this referee, Mike Dean, he's really annoying me right now. Hopefully we'll see Adama Traore now had a little bit of bite into this game, because it's certainly been lacking in terms of pace and skill and everything else in this second half. We've had a quarter of an hour of it, 60 minutes gone, and still remains 0-0. This is Jimenez now to Neves inside the centre circle. On halfway, still 0-0. One ball forward and a chance here now. But Doherty just loses his footing there for a second. Jimenez now runs down the right. And now the cross comes in. It's a good one. A chance here for Wolves. And Doherty goes in, but the referee again gives a free kick. And it's not happening. And the fans are not happy with this. The Wolves fans more certainly. And the ones around me right now, I'm afraid Mr. Dean has not won himself too many friends today. He might as well be Mrs. Dean the way he's refereeing tonight, I have to tell you. He got the Dendonka one right just now, but he pushed Tillemans. But some of the decisions have just been boggling the mind. It really has. Mike has come on and said that the problem with VAR is even the officials don't know the system properly, as it changes so frequently. We need to have a better set of rules, I think, guys. And this debate's going to rumble on and on and on until the end of the season, that's for sure. And then in the summer, they have to get it right well in time for next season. So I thought you said Mrs. Dean. Mike also says they just have to start learning the rules, and then they'll start to learn the rules, and then it will change again, says Mike. It's a farce as Leicester go forward again, and Patricio does well to keep the back pass from going out for a corner and saves it, but at the expense of a throw-in, mind you. So 62 gone. If you joined us late, you haven't really missed that much, if the truth was to be told. The ball into the penalty area, well taken comfortably there by Patricio. Adama Traore about to enter the fray now, with 62 gone. And well, what do you say about all this? It really does, as I say, boggle the mind. Just went off mic there for a second, guys. But we're back now. Still 0-0. You haven't missed anything. Hull 3, Swansea 3. Garrick has just equalised for Swansea. 3 apiece there. Meanwhile, it's still 0-0 as the ball is prodded forward again. And now on the far side. Oh, lovely play from Iosi Perez in towards the area. But again, good defending this time from Wolves. Still remains 0-0. And there's a Stevenage for League Football. Check that out. Mike Hardiman's Twitter. As the ball played in there towards Harvey Barnes inside the area. Good block inside the area. And Shelby now takes possession, but he loses it. Traore is now on the field of play. And now we've come to the little technical problems just as the game's getting a little bit better. I just want to say, I know the substitution's taken place. I just want to know who's come on, Russ. Can you enlighten me who's come on? And then we'll carry on. Because I had to take a couple of minutes for a second or two. So we're still at 0-0. You haven't missed anything at the moment. Just having one or two technical issues once again. It was Neto who came off. I thought it might be Neto. I had half an inkling it might have been Neto, but at least we've got genuine pace on the game now. And if I don't read it, I just want to make absolutely clear now, if I don't read any comments from now until the end of the second half, I do apologise in advance. Because my mobile phone is now at a very low 26%, and I may well have to put it on charge. It still remains 0-0. If you joined us like 66 minutes gone. I gave my thoughts at the start of the programme, Russ, Mike, and my opinion will not change. I think it's farcical. You've got the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid have done all this sort of financial play, breaking rules left, right and centre for years, and yet they get away with it, and then yet Manchester City get punished for it. I think it's wrong, but there you go. We're going to see Mark Albrighton now replace Iosi Perez for Leicester. It still remains incredibly 0-0. And It has been. I don't think this has been a classic at all tonight, guys. I mean, maybe we were due one of these games. I don't know. We're always gonna. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's a case of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We choose the game. I'm with you, although there needs to be consistency, and it might be a way for Arsenal to get into the Champions League. Well, they're a long way off at the moment, but you never know. Sheffield United are going very well in 5th place, and Wolves with a win could take them into 6th place, as we were saying earlier, before all that VAR controversy reared its ugly head. They scored a perfectly good goal before half-time, but it was disallowed controversially for I think it was I think it was Neto who was offside in the build-up. Anyway, Wolves are in possession on halfway. It's not been their usual free-flowing game, but hopefully with Traore on the pitch, they might do something. They might do something here. Otto with a low cross, but he's turned away. And still, Wolves in possession. You've still got João Martinho as well on the bench, should they require him for the last 22 minutes or so. Remember, JB man in the match, folks. You name your player. Might be a bit difficult tonight with the scoreline as it is at the moment. And the hashtag it with the JBMLTM. Here comes the cross in there towards Doherty, who heads it back. Traore's on the edge of the area. And Soichio had to stay on his feet there because Jimenez was about to cross it. Jota's left heel was offside. I don't care if his left heel's offside. It's not clear and obvious, Ross. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous decision. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous in the extreme. I think Wolves have been cruelly denied. I understand why it was given, but in the spirit of the game, it's morally wrong. Anyway, it's a corner. Neves to take it. If there's any justice in the world for the Wolves fans, they'll hope they score here. Here comes the corner. Jota with it. Right foot into the penalty area. Bisected everybody. Comes to Johnny Otto. Otto shoots, deflects. Might just ball well for Ben Chilwell. It does. And he gets it away. And it's a ball, a Manchester United, not a Manchester United, Leicester City throw-in. I don't know where I got Manchester United from then. And Mike agrees. He says it's ridiculous. Could have been his toenail, and VAR would have disallowed it. It is pathetic. I can't agree more. We need to iron out these VAR snakes. 20 minutes to go. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. We've had 7-0 and a half minutes of the second half. And at the moment, as things stand, we're only on for our second VAR, second not goalless draw, I should say, of the season. In the Championship, no shortage of goals at the KC Stadium, or the KCOM Stadium as they call it these days. Hull 3, Swansea 4. Ryan Brewster's just scored a fourth goal for Swansea. What a game down up at the old, what used to be known as the KC Stadium. It's called the KCOM now, I believe. We all know it's the KC Stadium even in these days. This is Jimenez. We'd dearly love a goal here. Come on, Traore. Show you what we can do. Good skills. Tries to take on the defender. It's in a wonderful cross, but it's just too high for everybody there. The crossing from the right. And Leicester deal with it perfectly well. And now they get themselves on their way now. Can they get themselves going again in the second half? It's not been a great second half, if I'm being honest. Hasn't really struck me as being any sort of urgency from either side. Still 0-0. And now Traore, right hand side. We know this guy's a lot of pace. We saw it against Manchester City. He runs and runs and runs. He's doing just that, but he's running to traffic. The ball will break though for Doherty. Back for Traore once again. Again on the right hand side. And they appeal handball. And they get only a corner. They wanted a free kick. The Wolves fans certainly shouted handball as one. 32,000 of them. Got to tell you, his arm was out. I'll tell you what, they're in the bracket. I've seen them given. But hey, it is a free kick. Well, it might just work out okay, this corner. Now, if Neves can put in a good delivery, Wolves could be in business. Remember the JB man in the match. Name of your player. Hashtag it with JBMLTM. Meanwhile, Neves with the corner. It's a very deep one, I have to tell you. And it's a poor corner. And it's hooked away right down the middle of the field. Well over halfway there by James Maddison. Then Cody knocks it back in with love and sentiment. And here goes Adama Traore trying to warm up this Valentine's evening of football here. Very disappointing game so far. Doherty's got man of the match according to Sue. That's the example everyone else has to follow. And here come Leicester City down at the other end. But again, a tremendous tackle there. Referee says that's fine. But that tackle, the second tackle isn't, on Ricardo. And a free kick to Leicester City. About 10 yards inside the Wolves' half of the field. In fact, it was the first challenge on Ricardo that wasn't punished. That was a good tackle there from Saiss. It was the second one that was the bad one. Yeah, a bit different. Yeah, 4-3. It was the game where Jota got the hat-trick. Yeah, I remember now. We'll see another change here now for Leicester. It's happening here now, as I think we're going to see Dennis Pryatt come on. I think it's Dennis Pryatt coming on. Schmeichel's got man in the match from Russ. So it's 1-1. One Wolves player has been nominated. That one by Sue and Schmeichel. Although, in reality, he hasn't done that much in the game so far. But here come Leicester now. The ball is with them. And Ricardo challenged quite nicely there. And there's a little bit off for a moment. They're going to square up to each other. Saiss with a terrific tackle there. And we're going to see another change here. We're going to see Dennis Pryatt come on. Yuri Tillemans, who came closest to scoring for Leicester in the first half, is the man to be withdrawn. Mike says JB, not MOTM. Not that we've got an award for that, but definitely not the VAR officials. That's Michael Oliver and Lee Betts, his assistant, down at Stockley Park this evening. Anyway, here come Leicester now with Pryatt. Gets his first touch on the left-hand side. Still 0-0, amazingly, as we come up towards the last quarter hour. Soichu now with the ball for Leicester. Chilwell's available on the near side should he use him, and he uses him as an outlet. The ball back low to Soichu, the centre-back. Finds his centre-back colleague Johnny Evans. Evans gets the ball back again on halfway, and it still remains with a quarter of an hour plus stoppage time to go. Amazingly 0-0. This is Chilwell now for Leicester. The ball deflects. Traore in to win the next ball. Chowdhury's there too, but he's lost possession. There is a foul, and it's gone. Oh, I thought for a minute he's going to get it. Oh, it is a second yellow. It's a red. It's a red for Chowdhury, I think. Chowdhury's gone. It's a red card, a second yellow, and Chowdhury has been sent off. And Leicester City will have to play the remaining 14 minutes with 10 men. He loses possession here, slips over. And I think that's another harsh decision there from Mike Dean. I think it's not a yellow card offence. Chadwick's just lost his footing. It's a foul, there's no doubt about it, on Dendoncker. But that, second yellow card? I don't believe that. That is... Mike Dean is having a shocker tonight. It has to be said. I think Chowdhury should count himself very, very unlucky. I think the first yellow was a poor decision as well, because Chowdhury, remember, in the first half, got the ball earlier on in the game. In the second half, got the ball. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Both yellow cards were not yellow cards for Chowdhury. I'm sorry. But Mike Dean's had a poor game. How he's still a referee is anyone's guess. Anyway, Wolves in possession. Traore gets the ball, right-hand side. I'm afraid it's all about Mike Dean and Michael Wilber this game, and not about anything else, unless we can see a goal in the final 14 and a half minutes. Can Traore finish with a flourish? And there's the corner, off the defender. It's a corner kick, or is it? Another questionable decision. This time, Mark Scholes on the near side. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, the referee has had an absolute shocker. I think there's no doubt about that. I'm not saying... Yeah, but, Mike, the problem is... Yeah, the two yellow cards were dubious. That's what I'm getting at. Anyway, Diego Jota's got off for Wolves, meanwhile. And entering the fray is Prudence. I think he's the guy that they've got from Olympiacos, the man who put Burnley out of the Europa League a year or two back. leading that very dubious first leg in Athens, where Burnley were completely and utterly robbed down there. I still believe we were robbed to this day. Still 0-0, ball out of play. It is a throw-in, and keeping with the tradition, this is just. I expected far better from these two teams. I expected far better from everybody, really. It's just been an utter farce. Still Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. We'll be coming off the air at around about 10 o'clock, just about before 10 o'clock tonight. We've got 12 minutes to go here live on the game. First of two potential live commentaries. We've got another one potentially tomorrow evening. Kick-off 5:30. Storm Dennis permitting. The game between Norwich City and Liverpool we are due to have covered for you. We'll be on the air around about 5:15, 5:20 in the afternoon with a 5:30 kick-off. And another foul not given against Derby Barnes this time. I'm afraid Mike Dean is he's not had one of his better games. Does anyone have TikTok? What's TikTok with its arm? Please tell me what TikTok is, because I've never heard of that particular contraption. Yeah, not that I use it, says Mike. I'm just going to break off for a second. Right, we're back live with you now, and it still remains 0-0. Luke Caton's got off again. Just asking if anyone's got TikTok or something, and then he's gone off again. I hope you're okay, Luke Caton. I hope you're not having a bad night tonight. Right, 10 minutes to go then. What's been a really farcical game of football, really. Iffy refereeing. A goal that should not have been chalked up for a half a heel offside when Jota was allegedly half an heel offside. Here's Adama Traore now. Come on, someone make the difference. Traore into the area. Come on, chip the ball back. Header one. Oh, it's over. It's over the top of the bar. Traore is now starting to make things happen a little bit. It's 4-4 in the game at home. I'm standing. I wonder if we've picked the wrong game tonight. Should we have gone down into the Championship? Aves has just equalised. Well, it should be 1-1, really. Leicester should have had a definite penalty. It was Jimenez trying to header the ball goalwards. He's headed it too far over, and it was too far out, really, to get the header up, win the header, and then get it down on target and beat Schmeichel. It would have taken a miracle to do that. We're inside the last 10 minutes. We've had 81 minutes. Neves is off and Martinho's on. Surely now, with these three Wolves have used all three substitutes. Surely now something's got to change. We're still level on the man of the match vote. One vote for Cody, one vote for Schmeichel. As things stand, I would have the casting vote. Now, why is Mike Dean giving a free kick to Wolves in? Okay, it's a promising position, but he could have played play on there. I think there might have been an opportunity for an advantage there, because Cody had possession and then the referee just inexplicably stopped it. I don't think Mike Dean has made any conceivable effort to make the game flow as what happens. Well, you might be hanging around for some time yet. Nothing's happened. Maybe Martinho could provide some quality inside the area. It's plenty up. There's about 4 or 5 on the edge of the area ready to attack. It's on the right hand side. Martinho, right footed, swings the ball into the penalty area. Header one, but the header goes wide. It was Jimenez who won the header, but it's gone well wide of the left hand post. And Wolves and Leicester are still locked together at 0-0. And we're just looking at the replay. I don't care if he's half a kneel offside. That's not clear and obvious. VAR was brought in to look at the clear and obvious. Now, at what point is that clear and obvious? A half a kneel offside, that is not clear and obvious enough for me. I'm sorry. Call me picky if you want, folks, but that is just ridiculous. In my opinion, that goal should have stood. Anyway, 7 minutes left to play. Traore with his pace, and he's got there before Soitu has. But the ball's gone out of play. He will be a throw in line with the edge of the penalty area. We're with you until around about 5 to 10 this evening. Live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. The game live. It's Wolves against Leicester. Friday night Valentine's football to bring you. Still 0-0. You'd be better off watching Blind Date than some of the football we're seeing here tonight. Anyway, it still remains 0-0, and here's Willy Bowie, whose goal was quite wrongly chalked off, in my opinion. Mike has just come on and he said that gone are the days when it used to be favouring the attacking team in this situation. It would never have been the Leicester allowed before VAR. Here come Wolves now into the area. Oh, what a good tackle that is. Johnny Evans doing really well. Two teams, I was really looking forward to this contest. Two teams who like to play the game the way it should be played have not really produced their best football. But here comes the cross, far side. The goalkeeper Patricio taking it very comfortably, again under no great pressure. And it's not for the one to trying. Leicester have shaded it both halves. They had 66 to 34 in the first half. It's 55 to 45 in their favour second half. But here's Traore trying to change all that for Wolves. Right hand side. Surely something's got to come. Here's Doherty. Plays the ball in field. Matinho takes over. Matinho will try the shot, and he pulls the shot wide of the left-hand post with the right foot. And is it fated that we're going to have a 0-0 draw for the first time since Aston Villa against West Ham? It's been 4 months since we've had a 0-0 on this channel. Well, we're 5 minutes plus stoppage time away from that, I'm afraid, being a reality. Unless someone can come up with something very, very special in the remaining 5 minutes that remain. Remember, the vote ends at 90 minutes for the man of the match. Let's not forget that. Leicester, of course, harshly have had a man sent off for 2 harsh yellow cards. Full time at the KCOM Stadium in a real thrill a minute. I think we should have gone there tonight. Well, they get a point each, see. That's the whole idea. It's a league game, it's not a cup tie. The attendance tonight at Molineux, a good attendance by the way, 31,682, and it's just a shame they've had to watch such rubbish out there tonight, I'm afraid. Not helped by some very rank refereeing by Mr. Dean of the Wirral, who, like most games before him, has refereed it with a very lack of common sense. Anyway, here's Adama Traore for Wolves. FA Cup back in March. Why in March I will never know. It should be in the middle of February like it used to be. League Cup final we'll have live on the 1st of March for you. Aston Villa against Manchester City, the first ever winners against the latest winners. Yeah, Blind Dated. Yeah, I can't think of any other dating shows other than Blind Date. I'm afraid. The late great Cilla Black. Anyway, we've running out of things to say here because this match has been so poor in the terms of the final third. Vardy now is back on halfway for Leicester. That's how difficult it's been for both teams. It's been a decent midfield battle. It is a stupid. I agree. It's a stupid waste of a space. They should be played. It's to suit people like Klopp and Guardiola and people like that. Oh yes, take me out, Paddy McGuinness, but I believe that's been axed as well. Yeah, it has. Axed it a couple of days ago. I think they ran out of ideas. It's a shame. I wanted to go on that actually, but never mind. Anyway, here's Brighton for Leicester. Are we going to see a goal? Final 3 minutes for stoppage time remain here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. We haven't had a 0-0 since October when West Ham and Villa played out a 0-0 draw on a Monday night game at Villa Park. Here comes Traore. He's gone down. That's a foul by Chilwell. That's a free kick to Wolves. Chilwell's now the latest player into the referee's notepad. It's been a game, I'm afraid, littered with yellow, with a lot of yellow cards. One red for Chowdhury, which was a harsh one, by the way. You could always go on Love Island. I think I'm a bit too chubby round the waist for Love Island. They don't take on people like me, I'm afraid. And you need to be about between 20. It's more or less club 1830 with them. So I don't really meet their criteria for that. You can just imagine somebody as chubby as me got it on that. I don't think it would happen. Anyway, 0-0. Free kick right on side, and Doherty again, more blood, and they're patching him up as quickly as they can. He's well and really been in the walls tonight. That's why the bandage has come off, the initial wood bandage. Anyway, Wolves down to 10 minutes. That free kick comes in. Martinho with a good free kick. Now then, can Wolves keep it alive with Osto? No, it's a throw into Wolves, however, in line with the penalty area on the far side of Leicester. Doherty's back with us. We're inside the final 60 seconds or 70 seconds. Soychu's now gone down. There might be at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this. It's it was yeah, going to clash of heads there between him and Romain Saiss, but he's okay. Tough cookie, the Turkish international. So a throw into Wolves. Are we destined for a goal in this game? Wolves nil, Leicester nil. 10 men Leicester. As the throw comes in, far side. It's a long throw. They're reverting to long ball now. And they've got a corner here, Wolves. Off old Brighton. Far side. Scoring now. We've got to see a goal. Can we get a goal right at the end of this game? Live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Remember, we haven't had a 0-0 for nearly 4 months. Please don't. Please, 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 for the love of God. Please not let us have a 0-0 here. We're inside the final 10 seconds of normal time, and I might have to choose a man of the match here. As the corner comes in towards the area. And now Jimenez missed it from 6 yards. Oh my goodness me. 5 added minutes at the end of the game. Connor Cody gets the man of the match because Mike has just come in there right at the last knocking. So Connor Cody's the JB man of the match. As I just see Jimenez head the ball. How on earth has he missed from 8 yards? Schmeichel was nowhere. And the ball goes wide of the right-hand post. And are we fated to have a 0-0 for the first time in 4 months on this YouTube channel on the live audio commentaries? Can someone produce something special in the next 5 minutes? I don't care who wins now. I just want to see a goal. Here's Harvey Barnes. Barnes for Leicester, but he loses possession. Here's Pryor now on the ball for Leicester, far side. Pereira runs forward. Connor Cody, just to remind you, is the man of the match. Mike's vote decisive. So, man of the match is closed. It's, well, I'm sure that this will not be on tomorrow's episode of Match of the Day. Well, it's been a game that's been incident packed, but it's not had too many clear-cut opportunities. It will be lost. We're going to see a final change here. We're going to see the Leicester City club captain. Unless we see a goal now. Wes Morgan. He's going to get a rare appearance in the Premier League. As the ball is floated into the penalty area. Leicester free kick. It comes here to Pryor, who shoots. Well blocked there by Martinho. Oh, Brighton, the former Aston Villa man, trying the shot. But the ball breaks over to the far side. Maddison now on to O'Brien. O'Brien with a low cross. Body was lurking. Could be no goals in 6 for him. And that's not what we want to see. There was talk about him returning for England for the European Championships coming up in the summer. I think that might be a distinct possibility now, the way his form's in shape. We're now played 2 of the 5 minutes, 3 to go. And here come Wolves on the break, but they lose possession. The ball will break for Connor Cody, our man of the match. Now Bowie, whose goal was questionably chalked off, more than questionably chalked off. Free kick, but the advantage is played. That's the first time I think the referee's done something correctly in the entire 90-odd minutes that we've been playing. That's offside, and that's a better decision. Then Prudence was definitely offside. The man who knocked Burnley out of Europe a couple of years ago. Johnny Evans and co. Oh, it's not been a classic. There's no doubt about it. Wes Morgan is going to come on. And Albie Barnes is the man sacrificed. Mike says, don't want Vardy back. With enough players with Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Wilson, Abraham. Well, I don't feel Karen Wilson should be anywhere near. He hasn't had a good enough season with Bournemouth, really. I'm sure Karen Wilson would be the man I would pick. Tommy Abraham's gone off the boil a little bit at Chelsea. But anyway, here's Doherty with the dark headband on. We're inside the final 90 seconds plus any time that Mike Dean might want to add on. I think he'd just do well to end the game, quite frankly. Here come Wolves again. Is there a late goal? Please, Sabres blushes. Adama Traore now will run at his man again. He'll run at his man. Adama Traore shoots. That's better. Good save by Schmeichel. I'll beat straight at him there. Here's Matinho now. Wolves with the quality towards the end. Header back towards the area again from the far side. And another throw to Wolves. We're inside the final minute of 5. Kasper Schmeichel making a late save. And the last knock-in. 40 seconds of stoppage time to go. It still remains goalless. Traore has come closest out of anyone to scoring tonight in the second half. Long throw in there. A flick on. And the second header's won, but it's headed away by Wes Morgan for Leicester. Then the ball is hooked back in there. Traore's on the area. Can he get the ball out? Shoot on! The shot came in from Jimenez. It deflects. It will be a corner. Soichi putting his body on the line. And you've got to say that was brave defending. Still a chance yet for Wolves. If they get this corner right, they could be in business. Leicester have had no corners in the entire match. Wolves are on their 7th. Can Wolves nick it? We are over the 5 minutes. Matinho with the corner. Outswinger into the area. It's cleared away. And there goes the whistle. And it finishes goalless here at Molineux between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Leicester City. It was not a classic. It came to life towards the latter stages of both halves, but the first 30 minutes of each half was a dull and liveless sort of game. As I say, it came to life in the last 15 minutes of both first half and second half, and still Wolves protest about whether that goal at the end of the first half from Willy Boly should have been allowed. I think it should have been allowed. It's finished 0-0. It had, well, I apologise if you fell asleep, Russ, but unfortunately I have to describe what's given in front of me, and it is very difficult at point, and I as a commentator, I'm very disappointed. It's finished goalless, but there will be questions asked of the refereeing and the officiating, but I suppose that's for another day and that's for other people to decide. But Wolves now go up to 7. Leicester obviously staying third, but I'm afraid it's been a very it's not been the greatest of games, if I'm being honest. I like to try and make things as exciting as I can, but I do well to make this game very exciting. I mean, Willy Boly's goal, should he have stood? In my opinion, it should have done. But there you go. That's football. That's the way it goes sometimes. But there we go. I hope you very much enjoyed the commentary, however. No, I'm very sorry that we didn't bring you any goals. Hopefully tomorrow that might be a different story, because we've got Norwich City, Storm Dennis pending, of course, against Liverpool. We'll keep you up to date. I mean, I know it wasn't anything against you. I agree with Russ. It was a very, very poor game. But I'm now making my way from Wolverhampton all the way to East Anglia tonight, to Norfolk for our first ever live commentary from Carrow Road. Well, the champions elect, shall we? I dare to say, Liverpool with their big margin, travel to Norwich, and hopefully we'll see a game for a non-stop incident. So hopefully we'll get some goals there tomorrow. I'm very sorry, guys, that we didn't bring you any tonight. With VAR to intervene, but as soon as in a couple of goals, Leicester will feel hard done by. They didn't get a penalty, but I'm afraid Mike Dean, not for the first time in his refereeing career, has wrote his name all over the game for all the wrong reasons. It's finished here at Molineux. Wolves 0, Leicester City 0, and as we say, Wolves up to 7th, Leicester staying 3rd. I hope you very much enjoyed, however, our commentary tonight. Sorry we couldn't bring you any goals, but there you go. Anyway, don't forget, if you have enjoyed the video and any other video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and not forget as well, goes without saying, hit the notification bell as well, please. Join you tomorrow. Don't forget, keep asking your questions for Ask JB. That's going out live early next week. I don't know when, so don't ask me when. There will be a premiere for that. I'm not sure if it will be Monday or not. I have training on that Monday, and we'll just have to see how that one goes. We'll let you know later on in the weekend about that. But keep your questions and answers coming in, but do it on the video that I did yesterday and not on this video, please. Okay, then have a fantastic day. Hopefully we'll get goals aplenty. Storm Dennis permitting, of course. There is the possibility that some games could be called off due to the weather. There are predictions that there are going to be high winds and rain and all sorts of nasty stuff that Storm Dennis is due to put out. So we don't know how that's going to pay out. But I'm afraid that we've not had any. It's our first goal was draw in 4 months. However, I hope you have enjoyed the game. I'm sorry we couldn't bring you any goals. Wolves 0, Leicester 0. From me, JB, take care, and hopefully, fingers crossed, weather permitting, we'll see you at Norwich tomorrow. From here at Molineux, good night from me. Take care. Bye bye.